Hello everyone, here's the Lawful Evil DM and I'm back for the third episode of Dungeoneering. If you don't know, the goal of this series is to teach both new and veteran DM on how to make great atmospheric dungeon, room by room. In the third episode, I will give you the third part of my recipe to make great dungeon. It really ties everything together nicely. First, we'll see the CNPR system and then the STF system. Part 3. Vicious Interior Design 1. Corrupt Medley. I've heard about the CNPR system from the Durlikes Tower series from Extra Credit, and I'm very thankful I've heard about it. The link to the series will be in the description. It is top quality, and I would suggest that you go listen to this series right after my video, as it will give you a solid example. While the 5-room system is focused on the dungeon as a whole, the CNPR system focuses on each room independently, making them feel deep. The letters stand for combat, narrative, puzzle, and reward. In short, in every room from the 5-room system, you should have those elements in some way. As a rule of thumb, you should have 3 out of the 4 elements for each room. Combat. It doesn't mean that there will be a fight for sure, but it means that there is a chance that the interaction turns south in some ways. A classic example. In a puzzle room from the 5-room system, a stone golem gives a riddle to the PC. They have 3 tries. If they fail, the golem will attack them. I love this example because if you fail a riddle, you're not stuck for 3 days in the same room. Your progression is not stopped. Narrative. Is this room helping to move the story along or provide character development for an NPC or a PC? Can the type of monster tell us something? Does this room have a use, or is it telling a story in some ways? If so, you got your narrative component. Still in the puzzle room, with the classic example, the golem tells us a lot. 1. The wizard is powerful and somewhat wealthy. A golem is not easy to make. 2. Whatever is in the next room need to be easily accessible by the wizard, yet it is also valuable enough to require heavy protection from intruder. Puzzle. Everything that is mysterious and that can be somewhat resolved by brain matter, and that will often add to the narrative or change it. It might be something out of place, like a beautiful diamond found inside a commoner bedroom. In our example with the golem, maybe it has a wizard crest on its chest that does not fit the other crest the player have seen in the dungeon this far. Maybe there is more at play here. Maybe there is more than one wizard here, but who and why? Number 2. Is it alive? The STF system is something that I have developed over the years to make the dungeon feel alive a little bit more. The 3 components are the state of alert, the time limit, and the fallout. I would like to say that you need at least 1 if not 2 of those elements in your dungeon. One being of the utmost importance and the other being softer. But this is not necessary. You could have a dungeon with all 3 being very important, or all 3 being mostly in the background. The first 2 elements can be used in a positive or negative way, and on a soft and hard way. State of alert. It is mostly a defcon system. The more the player uses brute force, the more the defender gets ready. Negative version. In a stealth dungeon, the defcon must stay low or the fallout might be really bad. Soft version. There will be more guard near the target. Hard version. The person to rescue will be killed by the villain if the state of alert gets too high. Positive version. On the contrary, the PC might want the attention just enough so friendly NPC might sneak in to get what they want. Hard version. The NPC get killed because too many guards were there. Time limit. I've heard a lot of DM complaining about their PC always taking a long or short rest after every fight. Some call it the asthma kid syndrome. It is somewhat offensive, but as an ex-asthma kid myself, it's making me chuckle a little bit. So the time limit is perfect to prevent that. Heck, in my other game, I did it so well that sometime I've asked my PC if they should take a rest. While almost dead, they said, "No, there is too much at stake here. We'll find a way." And I was amazed, and I even added a magic item in there for this reason. Because they prioritize the story over the mechanic, and that is great for storytelling. Because it makes the boss of the dungeon so much more interesting when in front of somewhat exhausted adventurer. Negative version. They have to get something fast while in the dungeon. Soft. Because the dungeon is sinking. At every hour a room gets full of water and make the work a lot more difficult. Hard version. It will be destroyed if not retrieved in time. Positive version. They have to slow down the enemy. Soft version. Because if not slowed down, they might regroup with the evil army main force in a battle against good. Hard version. Or the next village will be burned down with the villager in it. Fallout. Those are the consequences of the actions of the players. First, unless they are low level, they did other quests before entering this dungeon. Would those affect this one? If so, put it in there. Maybe they are a well-known group now and their tactics have been studied by the enemy. Second, while in the dungeon. Remember when I told you about the hard, the soft, the positive and the negatives impacts? Well, you've guessed it. This is the Fallout system. Third, after the dungeon. Did their action change something? If so, note everything and make sure that, down the line, they realize it. Example. Maybe, after failing to slow down an army, the group travel around and discover that the villager nearby have been enslaved. What is cool with the Fallout system is that it will make your PC care and open the door to other dungeons later to fix some mess up. Note that the STF system is also usable for individual scene like a combat. Maybe someday I'll do a series that focuses on that. Would you like it? Leave a comment below. Alright everybody, this is my recipe to make great dungeon. I didn't cover absolutely everything, like dungeon ecology, wildlife, politics and so on. But you've got all the building blocks to create a compelling adventure in a dungeon, and if you follow it, you will create those elements organically. For example, if you put the mundane elements in your dungeon like I've shown you, you most certainly will come up with the ecology of the dungeon and the reason that pushed the monster to live there. Likewise, linking your dungeon to your world will take care of the politics. But if you guys want it, I could try to cover those subjects in a future episode. In the next episode of Dungeoneering though, like I said, I will start to use this recipe to create a dungeon for a group of 4 level 1 PC, right in front of your eyes. This video has been made possible by the use of some programs and websites. For the sound and music part of it, I would like to recommend Syrinscape, as you can personalize the soundtrack to make them just right. And I would also like to suggest Tabletop Audio, which is a cool free website with tons of choice for all type of RPGs. Go check it out. For the visual of the dungeon, I have been using Virtual Battle Map, which is a very powerful tool to both map the dungeon and take pictures to help your description of the room and setting a tone. For my overland map, I've been using Incarnate.com. I also use Pixabay and OpenClipArch.org for some free of write image. Alright, do me a favor. Go drink the tears of your players and bring me back the news.